Today we're going to talk about some of the worst GTA Online updates ever. And we have to start with MK Oppressor. On paper, the Oppressor MK2 sounds like every GTA player's dream. A vehicle that can fly, has incredible speed and maneuverability, and is equipped with devastating missiles. But in practice, it turned out to be a nightmarish addition that made the game frustratingly unbalanced and, quite frankly, not as much fun as it used to be. With its ability to quickly take down almost any ground target with locked-on missiles, the Oppressor MK2 made it nearly impossible for players to safely move around the map or engage in activities without constantly being harassed and griefed by these flying menaces. But it's not just the gameplay implications that made the Oppressor MK2 a misstep. Its very design feels like a jarring departure from GTA's usual over-the-top but grounded aesthetic. A weaponized, missile-firing hoverbike feels more at home in a pure sci-fi game than the somewhat grittier world of Grand Theft Auto. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for Rockstar adding new, powerful vehicles to the game to keep things fresh. But the Oppressor MK took things way too far, disrupting the balance and flow of the entire game. Next, the holiday update. The GTA Online holiday gift update, right? So, here's the thing. The update was meant to spread some holiday cheer with snowball fights, festive outfits, and even a Yeti hunt, which sounds pretty cool on paper. But, let's be real, it kinda missed the mark for a lot of players. First off, the update felt a bit recycled. Like, we've seen the snow and the holiday gimmicks before, and it's always fun for a minute, but it didn't bring anything new or exciting to the table. And let's talk about those gifts. The idea of daily rewards is sweet, but when the loot is underwhelming, it's like getting socks for Christmas. You smile, say thanks, but deep down, you're not jumping for joy. Now, from a personal angle, I get what Rockstar was trying to do. Keep the festive spirit alive in the game. But as a player, you're looking for updates that add fresh content, new missions, or some kind of twist that makes you want to log in and play. Not just log in to collect your holiday turkey hat and bounce. So yeah, it wasn't the worst ever. But it definitely wasn't a stocking stuffer full of surprises. It was more like finding out that the big, shiny present under the tree was just a box of last year's leftovers. Cool for nostalgia, not so much for the hype. The Beach Bum Update. First off, the Beach Bum Update was the first content update for GTA Online, released way back in November 2013 as part of the 1.06 patch. It was free, which is always a nice price, but sometimes you get what you pay for, right? Content-wise, the update brought in some new vehicles, including the BF Bifta Dune Buggy and the Canis Kalahari off-roading truck. Now, while the Bifta had some decent off-road chops, the Kalahari was like bringing a poodle to a wolf fight, just didn't pack the punch where it mattered. And the Bravado Paradise camper van? It was more style than substance, with moderate speed and handling that didn't really excite the hardcore racers or the getaway drivers in the community. Then there were the weapons, the SNS pistol and the Broken Bottle 1. The pistol was okay if you fancied feeling like a 1920s gangster with a pea shooter, but it wasn't going to replace your go-to sidearm. And the bottle? Well, it's a bottle. If you're in a gunfight and you're reaching for glass, things have probably gone very south. The clothing and customization options were beach-themed, which was cool for about 5 minutes until you realized that board shorts and bikinis don't offer much protection in a firefight. Plus, the new hairstyles and tattoos were neat, but they didn't exactly revolutionize character customization. The update felt a bit underwhelming. It was like getting a new pair of socks for Christmas. Sure, they're useful, but they don't make you jump for joy. The Beach Bum update promised a laid-back, fun-in-the-sun vibe, but it didn't deliver the depth or the excitement that players craved. It was a bit of a one-trick pony with its beach theme, and once the novelty wore off, there wasn't much to keep players coming back. The Beach Bum update was a toe in the water for Rockstar, testing the waters of GTA Online's potential. It was the first of many updates, and thankfully, the future ones brought more substantial content to the table. But as far as updates go, Beach Bum was more of a gentle wave than the promised tsunami of content. Alright, now let's dive into the GTA Online suspension and ban policy update, and why it kinda sucked. First off, the policy update was aimed at cheaters, which, let's be real, nobody likes a cheater ruining the game for everyone else. The policy includes measures against modding, exploiting game mechanics, and messing with game data and code. On paper, that sounds like a solid move, right? Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. But here's where things got a bit dicey. The update meant that if you got slapped with a suspension, not only were you booted out of the online world, but your characters got reset too. We're talking everything: progress, property, inventory, all wiped clean. Imagine grinding for months, maybe even years, and then poof, it's all gone. That's enough to make any gamer's blood boil. Now, I'm not condoning cheating, but gamers were losing their cool because sometimes the ban hammer came down on folks who weren't even cheating. There were reports of players losing their saved outfits or getting hit for minor glitches that didn't really harm anyone. It's like getting a life sentence for stealing a candy bar. And the cherry on top? These decisions were final. No appeal, no second chance. You mess up once, and it's game over, literally. That's pretty harsh, especially since the line between what's considered a bannable offense and what's just players having harmless fun can get blurry. So, why was this one of the worst updates ever? Well, it's because it felt like a one-size-fits-all punishment system that didn't account for the nuances of each case. It's like using a sledgehammer when a scalpel would do. Plus, it sparked fear and paranoia in the community. Nobody wants to play on eggshells, worrying that any small mistake could get them banned. Firstly, the sheer audacity to reset years of progress for even minor infractions is outrageous. We're talking about players who've poured their hearts and souls into building their GTA empire. To have that ripped away without a fair trial? That's not just harsh, it's downright disrespectful to the community. Secondly, the lack of transparency and communication from Rockstar was a major letdown. When you roll out a policy that has such a massive impact on your player base, you need to step up and engage with the community. Instead, what did we get? Radio silence and a one-strike-you're-out approach. And let's talk about the no-appeal policy. In what world does it make sense to not give players a chance to defend themselves? It's like being convicted without a trial. It's a mockery of justice, and it undermines the trust we have in the game's governance. The update was a disaster for content creators too. Imagine streaming your gameplay, accidentally stumbling upon a glitch, and boom, you're banned. Your livelihood, your passion, your content, all gone in an instant. It's a nightmare scenario that became all too real for some. Here's the kicker. The policy did little to nothing to stop the actual cheaters. They just find new ways to exploit the game, while honest players get caught in the crossfire. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol. Now finally, end of PS3. The shutdown of GTA Online for PS3 and Xbox 360, which went into effect on December 16, 2021, was a major turning point for the game's community. For starters, GTA Online on PS3 and Xbox 360 is where it all began. It's like the old neighborhood where you grew up. It holds a special place in your heart. The memories of those early heists, the first time you got your hands on a Zentorno, and the countless hours spent cruising through Los Santos with friends, priceless. The shutdown felt like a piece of gaming history was being erased. Not everyone has the luxury to upgrade to the latest consoles or a beefy PC. The shutdown meant that a significant portion of the player base was left behind. For many, GTA Online was more than a game. It was a virtual hangout spot. The update essentially closed the doors on those who couldn't afford to move on to newer platforms. One of the biggest gripes was the lack of character transfer options. Players had invested time, effort, and often real money into their characters. To see all that progress locked away on old hardware, with no way to bring it forward, was a tough pill to swallow. Speaking of real money, let's talk shark cards. They stopped selling these for the older consoles on September 15, 2021. But what about those who had recently stocked up, hoping to enjoy the game a little longer? No refunds, no transfers, just a goodbye and good luck. That's a real bummer from a consumer standpoint. Now, I've got to be fair, it wasn't all bad. The shutdown did allow Rockstar to focus on enhancing the game for newer platforms, leading to better graphics, smoother gameplay, and new features for those who could access them. But still, they could have done a better job. While the shutdown was a logical step for technological progress, it was a hard hit for a dedicated part of the community. It's like saying goodbye to an old friend. You understand why it's happening, but it doesn't make it any easier. Alright, so these were some of the worst GTA Online updates ever. Which one you personally hates the most? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and have a nice day.